4 knights game, Scotch variation accepted, 5.nx d4 bb4 6.nx c6 bx c6 7.bd 3 d5 8.x5 cx d5 9.000 10.bg5. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. A typical answer is e5, which builds a position in the middle, controls d4, and frees up the queen and bishop on the dark square. The move nf3 advances the knight toward the center, engages the e5 piece in combat, and sets up a castle. nc6 defends the pawn on e5, advances the knight toward the center, and scans the d4 square. In the Scotch game, d4 gains space in the center and attacks the e5 square twice. x4 opens up the center, and is somewhat forced given that white was attacking the pawn twice, and protecting with d6 doesn't work out. nx d4 recaptures the pawn and centralizes the knight. nf6 advances the knight and engages in an attack on the exposed e4 pawn. nc3 develops the knight toward the center, supports the e4 pawn and controls the d5 square. bb4 develops the bishop and pins the knight on c3 to the king. nx c6 captures a knight and forces black to double their c-pawns. bx c6 captures the knight, controls the d5 square and opens up the b-file. bd3 develops the bishop toward the center, defends the e4 pawn and prepares castling. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling to the same side of the board as the opponent avoids some of the attacking associated with opposite side castling. This threatens to kick a knight. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. bg5 develops the bishop and pins the knight on f6. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. This connects the rooks, which helps them coordinate together in the future. It is the last book move. This ignores an opportunity to kick a bishop. It is an inaccuracy. This requires an open file, a typical technique for rook activation. That's good. A pawn kicks the opposing bishop, forcing it to move or risk being captured. It is quite good. That was a truly amazing move. It is brilliant. Backs off. It is ideal. That was a great move and very hard to find. It is brilliant. Recaptures. It is ideal. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. This is the only good move. It is a great move. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players.